Ta-da! All right. What's going on, everybody? Hope you guys are all doing well. Got a couple of emails from you guys about the trade plan, the very specific trade plan that we're using here. So I'm going to make sure I post that for you guys. All right, let's go over here to our account history. Beautiful. Last trade over $1,800, very nice. A couple of small losses, but the wins that we make are much bigger, right? Big win, small loss, big win, tiny loss, small loss, big win, and so on, right? That's what it's got to look like, guys. That's what it's got to look like. It's almost $4,000 within 3 weeks. Okay? $4,000 within 3 weeks. Very, very nice. Very nice. Okay. Let's get over. Let's save that. Okay, we are live on Facebook and all the Facebook channels and the YouTube channel and X, formerly known as Twitter. I love it. All right, very good. So, yeah, got a couple of emails here about, hey, Krishnan, good to see you, buddy. A couple of emails here about, where to find the trade plan. If you just go over to the YouTube channel, you will see it. You will see it there. In fact, let me get over there. Let me get over there right now and just copy the link here. Trade plan. TrendCloudTrading.com/free trade plan. Post that right in there for you guys. There we go. That is the free trade plan. How are we doing with the Australian dollar, Krishnan? How are we doing with the Australian dollar? Are we making any progress there? We've got a 4-hour chart. 4-hour chart is hovering just underneath that 200 simple moving average, huh? No extended trend on the lower time frames, but we are in the fourth wave, right? Fund is too low for holding for something. Yeah, it's look at that 4-hour chart, right? Where we are overall, right? This thing's going down, right? Like overall, it likes to go down. I mean, we went, this is 2023. This is all 2023 here. But yeah, Australian dollar, I mean, massive downtrend. Here's the curve right here, right around 662, right? 662. And we hit it, right? We hit it once, bounced off of it, and look what's happening, Krishnan. We're coming up into this curve zone on the 4-hour chart, the highest time frame. We're coming up in there on the fifth wave, right? The average, there's an average of 5 waves, right? And look at all this bearish divergence, right? Up, all the way up. Everyone. Here's price, bearish divergence. Goes up higher. Look at where momentum is. bearish divergence. Goes up even higher and hits that curve, bearish divergence. Price goes going up, momentum is going down. Clear as day right there. Clear as day. So we're setting up for a really nice trend reversal here on that Australian dollar. It would be great if we, what do we want to see here? What do we want to see? We want to see blue candles, right? We want to see these candles start turning blue up in this area, right? And I mean, we really have. There it is, right? Let's turn this off. Right? Here's the consolidation, right? There's the consolidation on the Australian dollar. 6636 is the high. 6636. Right here. Or whatever. Around there. We want to see, right? Maybe something like this. Even this, that's okay. As long as those candles, right? Sometimes it likes to pierce the pierce through the supply zone or the curve zone, right? As long as we get up there and maintain this bearish divergence, and these candles in here turn blue, that's what we want to see. We want to see those ice blue candles. Right? Candles turn ice blue. The trend is extended. And at the time that this happens, fifth wave, sixth wave, seventh wave, extended trend in this area, we can start looking for. And if we hit these ADR levels, right? Here's today's ADR level, average daily range right here on that hourly chart. So even if today this thing pops up to here, and the ADR levels, they recalculate every day, right? So this is only for the day. So if we get up here into that fifth wave and we start hitting some of these ADR levels, we might have an early shot at getting in on this thing back to the downside, right? Let's set some signals, right? Let's set some signals here. I'm going to put a signal right in the middle of this rally-based drop here, right? I'm going to put a signal right here. Come on. Oops. Oh, that's why it's not doing it. There. Alert, add alert. We want to know when this thing is crossing up. I'm just going to say 6A. 6A supply zone, right? 6A supply zone. Once we're alerted, hey, Fernando, good evening to you. Good to see you, buddy. We're planning out our attack on the Australian dollar. Hey, good morning, Mariana. Good morning, guys. Miguel, good to see you. Good to see you, Miguel. We're planning out this attack. Krishnan is focused on the Australian dollar. It's a very interesting instrument to trade because the overall movement on this thing, right, is down, and it's coming up into the fifth wave. It's almost extended to the upside. You see that, guys? So this is what we're working on right now with Krishnan. And this is what you got to do. You have to plan some sort of attack. This is the plan of attack, right? And we always go off of that high time frame. But just look how interesting this is. You know, the dominant energy here is down, right, on that 4-hour chart. And look at how this thing is climbing back up to the supply zone here. Go to your momentum filter. Go over to your momentum filter and take a look here. Price goes up. Momentum is going down. You can always make around 100, 200 in a day during global. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's a great instrument to take a look at and study, right? Good amount of risk, right? It's not terribly expensive. It's not like silver or something, right? So this is called bearish divergence that you're looking at right now. As price goes up, momentum goes down, and on every new structure high, your momentum filter will scale that, and it will tell you if there's bearish divergence. It'll put this little line, like it did here as well, right? It'll put this little line, and it will say bear, all right? Letting you know that, as price goes up, momentum's going down, and that is bearish divergence, and that's a very powerful leading indicator. This is really the only indicator, and as you know, this is a modified MACD that I programmed here, but momentum is really the only leading indicator on your chart. And this is how we can assume what's going to happen, right? Can't really predict, but we can assume that if price is continuing up with strength, but on decreasing momentum, that's got to clue you in on something. Now you have to start putting the pieces together to see, is this going to be a sort of like another pullback? Is that what it's talking about? Is it just talking about the pullback, or is it actually talking about trend reversal? That's the key here. So as we're going up, as we're pushing higher, this is telling you, hey, there's going to be a pullback here, and the pullback was to here. It went higher. We got another bearish divergence signal, and the pullback was to here. Well, where do you think trend reversal will take place? Well, we know that trend reversal likes to take place when the trend becomes extended, when it runs out of energy, right? And when does that happen? Well, there are 5 waves in an average trend, and we are coming up on the 5th wave here. Here's 4. When this completes, right? When this impulse completes, we will be in the 5th wave. All right. And then it will look something like this. You'll have maybe a deep pullback, and we'll break some structure. Then we'll retest the area, and then make a move down. And there's your head and shoulders, right? Let me draw this out. Okay. This is the most powerful classical charting pattern that you'll ever find, is the head and shoulders pattern inside of a high time frame supply zone. Take a look at this particular head and shoulders pattern. Do you see, let me turn this off here. Do you see how this shoulder is below this shoulder? Yeah, see, Krishna, yeah. Yep. Many times, right? Many times. Kazi, good morning. Good morning, Kazi. Good to see you, buddy. So yeah, so take a look here. Don't be confused by this pattern. See how this right here, this shoulder is lower than this shoulder, which means there's a break. Sometimes you'll see a head and shoulders pattern and it will look like this, right? Something like this, right? See the difference? Look at how this shoulder is higher than this one. This can mess some people up. They'll take a look and they'll say, oh, we broke structure. Now we're heading to the downside. And what does it do? It whips back up for a false breakout and then breaks through. Right? So that is what you want to avoid. That's what you want to avoid, right? So this, you have to draw this out, guys. Draw this out. Draw a head and shoulders out on your piece of paper, or whatever, and really feel that. That first shoulder there is what you want to pay attention to. When you start to see the pattern, just make sure that piece right there, okay? Where's my ellipse? Make sure that this piece right here, okay, is lower than this, right? Those two peaks there, very, very important. That's a very powerful pattern when when you find it. And make sure that it doesn't look like this, right? You can draw it 1,000 different ways. This is the way that you have to remember, right? So draw that out 5 or 6 times and really burn it into your brain. Really get a good understanding of that. Because this type of pattern, where you only break structure there on the first shoulder, you want to make sure you're breaking structure on that. You want to make sure you're breaking structure on the first shoulder, not the second shoulder. Okay. Here we are breaking structure on the first shoulder. Here we're breaking structure on the second shoulder. We don't like that. We don't like that. Because this pattern could lead to a false breakout. Takes everybody out, and then it goes. And that usually ends up being quite powerful, right? So if you do see something like this, take precaution and start looking for retesting of supply, okay? Everything has its place. Everything has its place. Just knowing that pattern being familiar with that pattern is going to make you money. Okay. So, Australian dollar. Yes, Australian dollar. That's right, Fernando. Now, this is what I'm on right now, 6AH, Fernando. That is the futures contract for the Australian dollar. And the symbol that you typed here, that is the Forex. Okay, that's the Forex pair. This is the futures contract. Yep. Yeah. Yep. It looks very similar. Looks very similar. So it will all react the same. Yeah. So you know, so we are heading up into this consolidation. I mean, look at this. Look at this. Right? All this consolidation here. And if you want to draw it out, I mean, or box it out, you can box it out like this, I would say. Here's all the top touches, right? Here's where the tops all hit. Here's where the majority of the bottoms all hit, you know. So we're kind of in there. We're kind of in there, right? And then a breakout, a deep pullback, rally base drop, broke structure. So right in here is pretty significant, right? I like that drawing. Very clear, right? It's all about making it visual. Rally base drop, broke structure right here. So this is a very powerful supply zone. That's a very powerful supply zone. Bitcoin. Yeah, let's check out Bitcoin. Here's the futures, but let's go over to crypto. Coinbase. There we go. Yeah, it's looking the same, right? Well, let's get rid of all this. Four-hour chart consolidating. Consolidation. Whoa. What's going on here? 4-hour chart, eighth wave, right? This is what it looks like. This is what we want to see on the Australian dollar, isn't it? We want to see the 4-hour chart become extended. It has just recalculated. Okay, it has just recalculated. So, you know, we now we're at the very beginning of some kind of trend. Hey, Frank, good to see you. Good morning. So yeah. So now what? You know, the idea is we want to look for the extended trend when we're high on the curve, right? Let's look back here. Did we go past this? Let's draw the curve out like this. Well, that seems to be the highest, right? Draw the curve out right there. Okay, we ripped through it, right? We broke through it, and right in here, okay, right in here was the time to start looking at those lower time frames for the trend reversal. And we kind of just went sideways, and then it looks like we recalculated right here. So now the the high time frame signal for trend reversals kind of over, right? It's now it's making a decision. Are we going to continue to go sideways? Are we going to recalculate and continue the move up? Or are we going to, start breaking structure, right? So we've recalculated. Now, now what? Now that we've recalculated, we're back to square one. We have to start seeing some break of structure here and looking at other things, right? We've got to break, we've got to break through some structure. And then we got this zone right here. Break through some structure. Retest. And this, right? We would have to see something like that, right? And we can look for that. We can look for that on the lower time frames, right? We can look for that on the lower time frames. But that's the idea, right? So so let's clear this. Okay, so again, here's the consolidation. We'll make it red. We've recalculated right here and crossed over. So we're really, the 4-hour chart is telling us we've got the crossover to the downside. Let's put a line right at the 100 simple and the 200. Okay, and we've got our rally-based rally here. Morning, Graham. Good to see you, buddy. Now we've got a demand zone here with the 100 simple running through it on that high time frame. Okay, so that would be a good target. All right, that would be a good target there. Let's start looking at this on the lower time frames. Look what we've got today. Okay, 1-hour chart. Okay, 1-hour chart here. We're getting a signal, TrendCloud momentum signal. Momentum's with us, right? We've got momentum on our side, and look where that first ADR checkpoint is. Inside of that high time frame. So here's ADR checkpoint number 1. Here's the 100 simple, and here's ADR checkpoint number 2. All right. Here's the 200 simple all the way down here in no man's land, right? That's not going to happen today. But it's very possible for this to run to here. That would be your target. Okay. 15-minute chart. 15-minute chart's moving lower. But right here where we've got that crossover, and this is where we're at right now. Downtrend on the 1-hour, and we're very early, pulling back a bit. So we could actually start looking for supply zones. The only thing we've got going against us, right, is momentum, and we're just starting to cycle back up. We're just starting to cycle back up on the high time frame, right? So this would be a corrective move on the high time frame because we're down. So where is that corrective move going to run into resistance? Well, it's going to run into resistance right at the trend cloud right there and right at the 50 right there. What do we see on our lower time frames? Let's go to the 15-minute. See how we put all of this stuff together? How we think things through across multiple time frames? We've broken through slightly on this 15-minute supply zone. Right, we broke through there. And this is the trend cloud on the 4-hour chart, and that's right in here. So that's our next vantage point there, right? Pulls back to here. You got a nice stop loss, right? That's how I'm looking at it. That's where I would place my entry. But Bitcoin. Are we shorting Bitcoin, or are we accumulating Bitcoin? Right. A lot of money to be made from here. Back down to here. That's how I'm looking at it, right? That's what I'm seeing on Bitcoin. So that's the scenario. If price does come back up into here, hits that resistance level on the high time frame, and then starts to reverse, then we can say, oh, okay, Bitcoin is starting to make a move to the downside. Where does it move to? It moves to a level of demand right here, right here. Okay. If you wanted to just accumulate Bitcoin, then we would simply use that 1-hour chart, and we would wait for the crossover back to the upside on the 1-hour chart and just start buying, right? And we know that works because we've done that. We've done that before. But that would be the short, because momentum is with us, right? Momentum is with us. MELI, let's take a look. We'll leave that on there. Stocks, MELI, I don't have that on there. MELI. Take a look. Let's go daily for stocks. A similar situation. Okay. let's take a look at this stock here for Graham. All right. Extended trend. And a gap down. Extended trend, gap down below the, right below that 50. The daily chart, let's take a look. Is it, yeah, it trends pretty nice, right? It likes to respect that 100 simple, right? Pulls back into that between the 100 and 200, continues down. Here's where the transition took place, right? Started breaking through the 200, consolidated right in here, right? Consolidation right in here. Broke to the upside. Fifth wave, sixth wave, pulls back, recalculates, and kind of goes sideways. Goes down 5 waves. This thing likes to move 5 or 6 waves. Look at how we went 6 waves and then reversed. Goes down 6 waves, reverse. Fifth wave, look what we're coming up on. 5, 6 waves and reverse. Okay, so this particular stock, just from looking at it, 6 waves, man. This thing likes to move 6 waves and then reverse. If you're trying to accumulate this stock, then wait for that 6th wave to the downside, right? Or, I mean, when you start seeing the crossover on that daily chart or even 1 hour chart, right? 1 hour chart. Look at this. Goes 9 waves, pulls back, sideways, goes up. Okay, 8, 9. Okay, so on the hourly chart, this thing likes to go about 9 waves. And on the daily chart, it goes about 6 waves. That's great information. That's good intel. That's how I would approach that, Graham. Oh, wow. Natural gas hit 3-1. Let's go over to natural gas. Get back to our green list, natural gas. And let's take a look. Downtrend. Cycling down. Momentum is down. We're looking for downward moves, right? 1 hour chart. Momentum is down. Downtrend. 15-minute chart. Opening range. Five-minute opening range. Let's see how it looks. Just starting, right? 5-minute chart, though, there it is. 8 o'clock in the morning. From 7 to 11. Yep. Nice. 5-minute TrendCloud signal short. Yep. Right there. Let's line that up and show everybody what that looks like. So right here, 740, even 720 right here. Right there. There's your pre-market, right? That's when these TrendCloud signals really hit hard, right? Those pre-market, here's the open, right? When you put your opening range tool, okay, all of that comes with your TrendCloud system. Put that opening range tool on there. There's your start of the day. All this is pre-market, right? So that's when these TrendCloud signals hit hard. And we've got 740 in the morning. Look how it lines up right here. Downtrend. Below negative 100 on CCI. cycling down. Momentum is down. Trend is down on the high time frame as well. There you go. See how that is so clear. That is so clear. Oh my gosh. Wow. Oh man. And I cleared all of my alerts. I cleared all of my alerts to start fresh, and I wasn't watching. You really got to watch this stuff, and have your favorites list on hand so that you can go through that, right? Just like here, right? Wasn't paying attention. I wasn't paying attention. Look for those 5-minute signals pre-market like this, right? Okay, so we're breaking to the downside. We've got right here. Okay, we've got another shot at this. Hitting that, but where are we with the ADR checkpoints? Oh, that's it. That's it. Day is over. Day is over for natural gas. There's your ADR checkpoint. Almost there. It's almost at that ADR checkpoint, Kazi. So that is the end-all be-all target for the day, especially in the futures market, right? Especially in the futures market. What usually happens? What is the nature of price? What does price like to do once it hits the average daily range? It kind of slows down, right? It slows down, goes sideways, and kind of nice. It's always nice to have a money bag on a Friday. I love the money bag emoji. It's like my favorite emoji. Money bag Friday. Love it. Oh, I love that. Yep. So so as a rule of thumb, right, guys? As a rule of thumb, you've got to have those ADR checkpoints, because if you don't pay attention to that, again, in the futures market, it's very, very important. You can just put those ADR checkpoints on and go back and look at anything. We're almost heading there on the micro S&P, right? Micro S&P, we use the 15-minute opening range, and it's still forming, right? We've got another 30 seconds, and we'll see that form, right? 15-minute opening range, 9:45. As soon as 9:45 hits, the lines will be drawn on your chart automatically. So let's witness that. 5 more seconds. Let us witness the drawing of the lines. Boom, right there. See that? I love it. Now I don't have to go looking for the 15-minute candle to draw out the lines myself. It's already on there for me. That is what you do. Program your own stuff. Or just, or just buy TrendCloud. It will be on there for you. So there you go. I like making things easier, right? I like to make things easier. That's my job. My job is to make things easier for you so that you can become consistently profitable. And that's what we're doing, right? That's what the last 3 weeks, there you go. Almost $4,000 in 3 weeks. Consistently profitable. That's the system you want to work with. That's the trade plan you want to write out for yourself. 10.8% in 2 weeks. Beautiful. 50,000 live account, not sim. Now that takes a lot of mental adjustment, right? That's excellent, Kazi. Wow. So 10.8% in 2 weeks. So for all of you who are new here, what we like to do, okay, what we like to do is put ourselves through trading challenges, right? So every 2 weeks, right? Every 2 weeks, we go and we set our simulator back to $20,000, right? So that we practice shooting for 8% every 2 weeks. And the rule is you can't lose more than $500 in one day, and you can't lose more than $1,000 within the 2 weeks. And we keep ourselves to that schedule, okay? I'm keeping this because I want to document it for you guys, and I want to show you. But every 2 weeks, set that back to 20,000. Unless you want to keep it going, that's fine too. Whatever's going to help you the most, right? Whatever's going to help you the most. We just want to be able to do that and make sure that we stick to those rules and that we go over the trading challenge every 2 weeks. And we ask questions and we put ourselves in that mindset so that when you get to a point like Kazi and you're like, oh, okay, 2 weeks went, all right, hit 8%. Oh, okay. And then you do another one like, well, look at that. Maybe it's 7% or something, whatever. But I did it again and I followed the rules and I didn't disqualify myself. And okay. I remember the first one when we first started doing this, I actually wasn't paying attention and I got disqualified in my own trading challenge, right? I went over the $500 limit. I'm like, oh, because I set too many trades, right? It's great practice for no matter who you are, no matter what level you're at. It's great practice. It puts you in that mindset so that you can get to that point, right? You can get to that point. So once you start seeing the numbers, guys, once you start seeing, oh, look at that, I hit my 8%. Another 2 weeks. There it is. I did it again. I hit the 8%. Now you know you're ready for that live account, right? Depending on what you've got. And there you go. There it is. 10.8% in 2 weeks. Beautiful. This is how you get there. This is how you get there. It all starts with that trade plan, right? It all starts with that trade plan. And I know I posted that. Let me see if that's, yeah, right? It all starts with that trade plan, guys. So, you can use mine exactly. You can study it and you can make observations of your own. As long as you take those observations, just like Krishnan was doing that with the Australian dollar. He was making these observations and putting those observations together into a cohesive trade plan that can be followed. And now you've got something. Now you've got that trade plan. You wrote it out in if-then statements, right? If price hits the 8th wave, then look for momentum shift, right? What you put it together, right? You put it all together in if-then statements, and then you start doing those trading challenges, right? Okay, I'm going to put myself through the challenge. I'm going to put myself through the test every 2 weeks. I'm going to give myself 2 weeks for 8% on that account. Oh, I disqualified myself. I broke one of the rules. All right. Recalculate. Go back to the drawing board. Okay. Make sure you follow the rules. Now you follow the rules. All right. Oh, look at that. I hit 5% in 2 weeks. And then the next challenge. Oh, I hit 8%. And then the next challenge. Oh, I did it again. I hit 8% again. Okay. So you put yourself through that training, that regiment. You put yourself through that regiment. And it almost has to be like military style, right? Then you're ready for that live account. And that's how you sharpen your axe, right? You ever hear that story about if you work all the time, you're not as powerful as the guy who works just as hard but takes time off to sharpen his axe, right? It's a little story that teaches a lesson, always take time to sharpen your tools, right? Otherwise, if your tools go dull and you don't take time for self-care, you don't take time to sharpen your mind, you get burnt out, you get dull, right? So meditation, going to the gym, sharpening your axe, going through those trading challenges, putting yourself through a regiment, right? That is what's going to get you sharp and get you out there into your live account. And that's the goal, right? That's the goal. So 15-minute opening range on the S&P, starting to break out to the upside. Go figure, right? You think this is going to break out to the upside? We're in an uptrend on the 4-hour. There we go. 4-hour chart. Let's recalculate. Uptrend on the 4-hour chart. This right here is the 4-hour trend cloud. We've got momentum, right? Momentum is up. We're at the top of a cycle, kind of going sideways, okay? But this is looking like a nice impulse move on that high time frame. We are also early in the trend, breaking through structure on the middle time frame. Momentum's on our side. So looks like we want to break out to the upside here. What would we be looking for? Well, we'd be looking for a retest of this opening range here somewhere. Probably not going to go this low. Where is the trend cloud on the 1-hour chart? It's right here, right? And that's a little lower, right? That's a little lower. So this would be a shallow pullback into the opening range, and I don't really see any demand zone in here, right? It's just the opening range. I see previous day's high, previous day's close. All right. Maybe this wants to pull back deep and hit that consolidation that's going on in here, right? All this right in here is fair game. Let's make that blue. Okay. You see how I designed that entry? I designed that entry with those key elements, right? So we're in an uptrend on the high time frame, right? We've got a trend, we've got momentum across multiple time frames. That's 3 elements. Now we're looking for that support, right? Right here, we've got it. Previous day's high, previous day's close, right here. So we've got the support element. We've got the timing of this, right? The timing. This is a corrective move, pulling back. And the sixth element is that, demand zone, right? The difference between support and demand, right? There's a difference. Support and resistance, that's one thing. Supply and demand, that's the imbalance between buyers and sellers. Support and resistance, that's just mass psychology, right? Everybody, there's a bunch of people looking at this previous day's close, right? It's not an imbalance level, it's mass psychology level. All right. So that is the design. That's how you design the entry. You got to build your case for entry. That's all inside of the trade plan and goes even deeper in the masterclass, right? If you want to get a hold of that, if you're on the TradingView platform, just go to my profile here and click onto that link right here, or you can click onto the YouTube link, and you will see it. You will see it in there. And I placed it. I placed it in here for you. Okay. TrendCloudTrading.com/free trade plan, and you can sign up for the free instruction there. All right. And here we go. Okay, so it just went right to the edge. Look at how it went right to the edge there. Now we're breaking. So we're actually going to be breaking out to the downside here. All right. A lot of people are going to start going short here. And look what they're shorting into, right? They're shorting into an early uptrend on both time frames. Momentum is up on the 1 hour chart. We are okay. So we don't have the momentum, right? We don't have the momentum on the high time frame, but we've got it everywhere else. Okay. So little piece of the puzzle missing, but that's okay. The cycle indicator is also down, but because with experience, you'll find when you're above this line here, when you're above the 70 line, it tends, in a strong trend, it does something like this, because this is a bounded indicator. Okay. So you can't really go by this. You got to go by this. And now we're flashing back and forth. We're flashing back and forth from green to red. We've got a really nice shot here, okay, at a bear trap. We got a really nice shot here on the S&P on a bear trap. A pullback into this area here where previous resistance, right? Resistance broke through. What are we looking for? Previous resistance becomes support, right? So somewhere in this area, you'll never know exactly where, but somewhere in this area, you've got yourself a nice little buy zone, right? How about that? There's your $200. There's your $200 right there. 5 contracts. Bear trap. Is it going to come back that far? Nah, I don't know. I don't know, but that's the setup, though. That would be the setup right there. I wouldn't be comfortable taking, if this broke out to the upside here, I wouldn't be, there's nothing else there, right? It's just the opening range. I really need some other information in there, right? I don't want to just take the pullback into the opening range. I really want to see some structure too. I want to see some structure within there, maybe on the 5. And the structure on the 5, we do have, here's a rally-based rally right here. It didn't really go very far, and it didn't break out. So it's like, meh, got a little reaction off of it. You can see right there, right? little reaction off of that thing. But we've got a lot more information down here that looks better, right? We've got this consolidation here, pulling back. I like this area much better. I'd rather take this area here. Okay. Previous day's high, it may come back to the previous day's high and take off. I don't know. You'll never know. But here's where I can put my stop loss. I have an opportunity to put my stop loss below structure, and that's what I'm going to do. So in order for me to get in on this trade, it's going to have to do something like this. If it just hits here and takes off without me, wasn't my trade. It wasn't my trade. That's how you have to think. Oh, but I want to take all of them. Well, you may not be able to do that, right? So you've got to be able to say, this is my trade. If it doesn't pull back that far, it's okay if I miss it. There's other things out there. There's other things out there to see. All right. So that is the lesson for the day. Good job, everybody. Good session today. I hope everybody has a great weekend. Draw out those classical charting patterns, guys. Draw it out. Don't forget to do that. That's your homework for the weekend. Okay. Draw out that head and shoulders pattern, right? We want to see, there's one shoulder. Here's the head. That's what we want to see. Draw that second shoulder. There you go. Right? That's what we want to see. That's the head and shoulders pattern that we want to see. Thanks, Frank. Thank you. So draw that out. That's your homework. And then draw the wrong one. Draw the one that we don't want to see, right? We don't want to see. Right? That's what we don't want to see. Because this will lead to some kind of false breakout to the upside, and then it goes down, right? So draw out those two patterns. That's your homework for the weekend. Good job, everybody. I'm going to go get some breakfast. Have a great weekend, and I will see everybody here on Monday. Bye, everyone.